Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us either in real life or the replay. I'm so excited to have Selena on here because Selena has had a couple of vendor events where she has gone and set up a table. And I know that it's something that we look and see and wonder, like, I wonder if I could set up a table like that, or it's intimidating and we think I would never do something like that. And so that's why I want Selena to share because for those of you who don't know Selena, she's not really the type of person who's going to go put herself out there. So the fact that she has done this is huge. And so I'm going to let her share like why she decided that she wanted to do a booth, how she set it up, what she does at her booth, all of that. I don't even know the answers to these, so I want to learn too. So I'm just going to let you go ahead and take it over, Selena.
All right. Well, Sam, thank you very much for trusting me to do this, first of all. As you said, doing a booth and a table is so far outside of my comfort zone. It's unreal. And when I first thought of it, I sent a chat up to my upline first and was like, can I even do this? Like, we always want to make sure that we're compliant, right? But I was scared out of my wits. So thankfully, I have an awesome upline, which is Courtney Summers and Sam, who of course are the most encouraging people you've ever met in your life. But the key thing first is, why would you even want to do a event? Why would you even want to do a booth, right? And so these events and these booths, these are such a great way to just put yourself out there. It is such a great way to network. We all have social media, we all have friends, we're helping our current thrivers thrive for free. So we are networking, but by doing an event, by doing a table, you are going to meet people that you probably would have never, ever crossed paths with, right? So this is a way to really stand yourself out there. You're putting Lavelle out there, and you're going to be surprised because we're in so many different networks already with thrivers that you kind of forget that there are actually still people out there who have never heard of Lavelle, have never heard of Thrive, and have no idea what that sticker is that you're wearing. And sometimes I think it's easy to forget that because, again, with social media and everything, we see so many thrivers, whether they're in our team or they're not in our team. We see thrivers everywhere, which is great. But we also want to reach out to those who don't know what Thrive is, they don't know what Lavelle is, and they don't know how this could impact their lives. So, it's all a great way to do one and to get yourself out there. And it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. But the next question was, where do I even start? Like, where would I do an event? Where and how? Like, do I just set up this booth in the middle of the road? Like, I have no idea. So another great one is just look for the festivals in your area. There's all sorts of festivals all year round, whether it's a fall festival, it's a summer festival, it's a festival just to have a festival. Just all over the country, there are always festivals going on. And so my very first event, that's what I did. The little community that I live in was hosting their first ever kind of festival thing in the summer. And where I live, a lot of people actually already know about Lavelle, and they all usually know Sam or Courtney. So it was like, well, is that really even a place to start? Because so many people already know about Lavelle. But, again, there's always people who don't. There are always people from surrounding communities who come in. So it's not just my community that's going to be there. So that is where I started, was I just looked at the festival and then I posted, like I signed up to do a vendor booth. So for this instance, there was a small fee. You pay I think it was like $10 setup fee. And they give you the requirements of what you need to do. Do you need to have a certain size table? Do you need to have a tent? Do you need, anything else? Okay, so those are always important facts, like information that you need to get ahead of time and make sure that you are meeting their requirements. You don't want to bring in this great big tent so that your stuff doesn't blow away and then realize that you're not allowed to have a tent. Or, you bring a big 6-foot table, but they want you to have just a small 4x4 table. Okay, so you need to know what the requirements are. But before you can even get started, you need to remember you are not allowed to do an event if you are not 12K. You have to be 12K or you're going to be non-compliant. And Lavelle always finds out. Lavelle always finds out. So don't let that discourage you though. If you are not at 12K, if you are like me, I was brand new. Don't let it discourage you, because you actually want somebody with you. You want another person, especially at 12K or above. That is great. If you are not 12K and you don't know who to reach out to, start with your upline. Your upline will help you. If one of them can't come with you, they will find somebody for you, things like that. So I reached out to Courtney Summers. Number one, Courtney's my friend. And if I'm going to do an all-day event, I want to have fun with it. So who better to have fun with and to do an event with than your friends? So I reached out to Courtney. Courtney is 12K. So now I'm also being compliant by having Courtney with me. And we talk a lot about group chats. And the importance of a group chat is for that third-party validation. So an event is no different. If somebody comes up to my booth and they're talking to me, I can tell them my story. I share my story. But obviously, I'm the one here trying to sell them this product, so they're going to blow me off. But having my 12K and my friend, who is also a Lavelle promoter, she's my third-party validation. It's just like doing a group chat. Courtney's story is completely different than mine. We do not share the same stories at all. So while my story may not resonate with this person, maybe Courtney's does. So it's really nice to have somebody there who can help share that story, share their experiences. And the next thing is that these people have questions that are going to just catch you by surprise. Like, you have no idea what these people are going to come out with. And sometimes you're just going to be like, So it's nice having that other person there. So, somebody asked me a question about a product and I'm like, I knew the answer. She asked it to me so fast that I couldn't actually get it out. And so Courtney was there and Courtney was able to help answer that question, which was great. Another thing though too is that a lot of times with the business, I know my product. I know what the product is. I know how it works. I love the product. I struggle on the business side of what Lavelle can do for you. I am a 4K. I've not gone on a lifestyle trip yet. Yet is my key word here. It is on my vision board. I will get there. But I don't know a lot of the ins and the outs of the business. So having Courtney again with me, Courtney does know these things. So she's able to help answer those questions. She can share her experience of what is it like to go on these lifestyle getaways that's completely paid for. She didn't pay to go to Mexico. She didn't pay to go to Vegas most recently. That was all free. Courtney also gets an auto bonus. She's going to know how that auto bonus works. So it's nice that she's there to help me with that too. So once we're there and we're getting the table set up, things like that, I try to make the table fun. I want the table to be eye-catching, because even though health and wellness should be your number one thing, a lot of times it's not. People are going to pass you to go over to the cute artsy craft stuff. they don't want to take their health into, you know, perspective. They don't want to take it to the next level. They think they're fine, whatever, nothing works. It's all a gimmick. That's what people think. So you want something that's going to be eye-catching. And if the event is having a theme, fit that theme. The most recent one I did was in October, and it was a 5K breast cancer awareness. So my booth was decked out in pink. We had a pink tablecloth. We had all of the breast cancer awareness stuff. Of course, Lavelle also supports breast cancer awareness, as well as having TAC, DFT, that supports a variety of different cancers. So that is what I showcased on my table. Fit the theme, make it appropriate, right? So when I set it up, sometimes, you know, it's always different. You're not always going to set up the same way, but you want it to be inviting. You want people to come and check it out. You know, if you don't have things that you're not really sure how to set up, reach out to your upline. I reached out to my upline, and Tammy was able to help me out with a lot of stuff to set up for my table, banners, billboards, you know, just a lot of different fun things. And while we had this, she had this board, and it said, I am confident, I am adventurous, just different ones. And so I asked Courtney, like, hey, would you mind taking a photo of me with this board? And she's like, yeah, of course. And that's actually the photo that Sam used for this Zoom meeting. But people see me having fun. People are watching. They're watching Courtney take pictures of me. And one person came up and was like, hey, would you ladies like to have a picture together? Well, yeah, of course. Now they're interested. We are being engaging. We are doing different things. We're not just standing there like, oh, I don't know what to do here. We're saying hello to people, inviting people over to look and to share our stories, right? And so on the table, on the actual table itself, we have stuff that fit our theme, right? So for the breast cancer awareness, I had all of our breast cancer awareness Ultra DFT, as well as the white label DFT, because of course Lavelle was also supporting breast cancer awareness. But I also had other things out. I had our 3 steps. I didn't just have the 3 steps, you know, like 1 box of women's, 1 box of shake mix, and 1 packet of DFT. I had a bunch of different variety. I have both a box of our shake mix to show what our single packs look like, as well as a container, because some people are going to want one or the other, or maybe they want both. But it's nice to be able to visually see what it is that they're going to get. Instead of just having the women's or just having men's capsules, I have both, because again, this is made for both men and women. And then of course, Lavelle is more than just the simple 3 steps. So I have a lot of the plus line product out there as well. So I usually will take things like rest. Rest is a good one. There's so many people that struggle with sleep. It is a 5K that I was at. So I brought Move with me. If you're not familiar with Move, Move is really good for your joint health. So that is something that's going to appeal to maybe people who are like, oh, I have runner's knee, or, you know, it's just, I can't walk this 5K anymore like I used to. Well, you know, I have a solution for that. Other plus line items that you just have on hand is great. I also take the Thrive Skincare. I personally put the Thrive Skincare out because that's how I got started with Thrive. I did not get started on the 3 steps. I got started with the Thrive Skincare. So I like to put that out as well for maybe people who are not ready to take that leap into taking the 3 steps. Maybe they want a good skincare routine. Many people think that they can go to Walmart and buy vitamins and they're fine. So me being a person who not necessarily thought my Walmart vitamins were good, but also didn't want to start on these 3 steps, start on skincare, I always try to showcase that as well. Did you sell these as a sample or just a display? So the first event that I did, I brought samples. I had the sample boxes that you can purchase from Lavelle Gear, as well as the 3 steps in them. And then I put my business card and the 3-step brochure in the box. So all of that information was in the box. If somebody came up and they were kind of riding that line, like, I'm interested, but I'm not actually going to buy, I offered them a sample. I didn't actually sell them. It was just a freebie that I did. You can, of course, actually sell them because that is your product that you're paying for. So if you want to sell them, by all means do that. I personally was just giving them away as a thanks for coming and stopping by my booth. But all of my information was there. I also had Lavelle sign up sheet. So it was just a simple sheet. It says Lavelle on it, and it's your name and your phone number. And I asked everybody, if you took a sample from me, to please leave your name and your phone number so that I can follow up with you on it. If they were willing to, I would even create their account right there on the spot for them. Some people were like, I don't really want an account, so I'll just write my name and phone number down. And that's perfectly fine because I don't want to push anybody into doing this. But if I can get them to go ahead and create their account, and then I'm following up with them like, hey, how was your first day? Did you try your sample? Do you have thoughts, questions, anything like that? Now I can move on to hopefully getting that account and hopefully an order out of that. So those are things that I put there. If you have an iPad, I found that the iPad was easier. If somebody came up and was interested in creating their account, I could just hand them the iPad. Of course, it already has my link pulled up, so they can just click on creating a new account and setting everything up. If you don't have that or you don't feel comfortable doing all of that, by all means, just have them write down their email address on that same sheet and you can create it for them later. I also had out the Lavelle magazines. This is also in the Lavelle Gear, if you're not familiar with that. The magazines, I've not yet had anybody take it with them, but they pick it up, they're looking at it, they're flipping through it, and a common remark that I get, oh, I didn't know that Lavelle was that big. Like, this was on TV and you can get a free car. When they say that, that is my cue. I will start comparing Lavelle and how easy it is to earn that car to other companies. Because a lot of other companies, you have to sell like an insane amount of product to earn a car. And sometimes that car payment is coming out of your commission check, whereas Lavelle doesn't do that to you. Lavelle gives you a car payment and commission. Okay, so that's like another way to boost up the business side of Lavelle. And it's just a great conversation starter. I mean, really, it's just a great conversation starter when they see the magazine and then they see all this product out, displayed, and you've got 2 people standing there that just love it and they each have different stories. It is absolutely awesome. The other thing is with having fun with the whole thing is we've had so many people come up to our table and they're not interested in Lavelle. They're not interested in getting an account. They're not interested in any of that. But you know who might? And right there you go. Who else might be interested? Okay, so, your mom, she's having a lot of joint discomfort, or your sister, somebody else. While they may not be interested, somebody else is. So how do we get them in contact with that? Would you like a 3-day sample to give to that person? You know, right now, doing a festival thing would be great, having all those samples, because you know what those samples are great for? Stocking stuffers. So having all of those samples on hand is great. And just make sure that you're making those connections when people are walking by, you know, hi, how are ya? Make them just even that glance over instead of them just walking by. You're going to get a lot of people who don't acknowledge you. You're going to get a lot of people who are not going to come to your table. All of the other tables next to you may be buzzing with people and things like that because they have all the cute artsy crafty stuff or fudge and sweets, things like that. But don't let it discourage you at all. You know, you are still there, you are still putting your name out, you are still networking with people, and that is ultimately the goal, is putting Le-Vel out there, putting your name out there. And you'll be surprised that there are times when people have actually reached out to me on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Hey, I saw your booth. I don't know who this person is. I'm not friends with this person. This person didn't even write down their name on my clipboard. So maybe I can recognize their face on social media as like, oh, that person stopped and said hi to me, but maybe I can't. But they still reached out. They didn't feel comfortable stopping right then and there, but they reached out later. Hey, can I get a sample from you, or can you give me more information about Le-Vel? Absolutely, absolutely. So just because people are stopping, don't let it discourage you. Okay, it's just like when we are talking to people online, we're putting our stories out there. We all have that time when we talk about Le-Vel and we share our story and we just have crickets. We've all been there. We've all been there. And so doing a booth, you're going to kind of feel the same way, but that doesn't mean that people aren't noticing you. And when I did the booth at the 5K, I had somebody who came up and she said, oh, I saw you at the other event thing. Didn't you show up in Jamestown? I did, actually, I did. And so we started this conversation and she said, you know, I never stopped by your booth because, I don't know, I've heard other people do it and, you know, I don't think it's for me. Okay, well, why don't you think it's for you? What is it that you heard that you don't think is good for you? And now here we go. We've got conversation going. She didn't stop the first time, but now because I'm consistent and because I keep showing up, now she's interested. Like she's just not going away, sort of thing. And if she's not going away, then maybe this stuff works. Just maybe. So I think that is pretty much all that I've got. Sam, do you have any questions?
Seriously, that was so good. I was taking notes, girl. You hit the nail on the head with the stocking stuffers. That is so smart. And like, yes, like we should be putting those together now as ideas and take those 3-day samples and put in some little stockings, like huge. I love that you talked about consistency. That is also so important. You keep showing up, people start recognizing you. It's something to keep in mind, you guys, when you show up and you're wearing your sticker, you are advertising for your business. People are watching you, and it might be the people at the booth right next to you. They might be setting up for their jewelry or their Scentsy or their, you know, Pampered Chef, and they are listening to you and watching you. And after you say, you know, what Thrive is so many times, they're also piquing interest. I know Courtney and I did an event when I was new, when we were both new, we had no idea like what we were doing. You know what, we still don't, let's be honest, like we'll never really know what we're doing. We're just doing the best we can. But it was the other vendors, like when nobody was walking through, that was actually asking questions because they were overhearing what we were saying. So remember that you're creating conversation, and exactly like you said, Selena, you don't know like who else needs this. And it's so simple to just be there and just say, have you heard about the Thrive experience? Because like you said, some people might have heard of it, some people might not. And on the topic of that third-party validation and having your upline, you guys, Selena's exactly right. The reason why it's non-compliant is because we don't always know all the answers that we should. And you might think that you know until somebody asks you a question that you don't know. And you're right, like that other person to share their story. But also, what if you're speaking with someone and you're having a great conversation and somebody else is walking by and checking out your stuff, but you can't give them your attention because you're talking to someone else. You don't want to feel like you have to cut that person off because you want to make sure you speak to everyone. So if somebody's with you, you don't have to do it all. I love that paper that you shared. Can you please send it to me? Because I feel like I need it. That sign up sheet is awesome. And you guys, even if you don't have a tablet, like use your phone. I did that when we were in Vegas, and Courtney and I both were doing that in the hot tub. Like, well, here, we'll talk about it later. Here's my phone, just enter your email and we'll keep in touch. And so don't underestimate the power of those free customer accounts. They're going to get home and be like, man, that Selena girl was talking about that stuff. I think I actually want to try it. And they've already got an email with the information that they can go browse around, and they're already connected to you. So that is a huge bonus. And like she said, you don't have to have everything, but I mean, all of your tips were so good. Like I kept thinking like, okay, on this topic, I'm going to ask her this. And then as you talked, you answered my question and I was like, hey, she did that. She said that. She said that. So you did so good. I mean, I agree. Even like I'll take the box of stuff and just like the orange lifestyle mix, I'll just put orange tissue paper in it and make it look pretty and just set it out as a display and go with the theme of the event. I love that you did the breast cancer ones. Like it's just a no-brainer. A Halloween event, you could put samples in a trick-or-treat bag or something to make it, a Christmas one, you could use little stockings. I love that idea. So many ideas, so many tips. I can't wait to see your next booth because I feel like with each one, you're just going to be more confident and more successful. And you're going to see more people who maybe were too intimidated to ask before. And when they see you again, they're going to be like, okay, fine. Tell me what this is. And I love that you're asking questions and just, having people talk to you. Like, I love it. You were the perfect person to host this. So thank you for your time. Thank you for hopping on in the middle of the afternoon, everyone who's here, and for watching the replay. Make sure you guys give Selena some feedback. Let her know if you have any more questions or you think of anything. I'm sure she's happy to help. So is there anything else you wanted to say? Any final thoughts, any suggestions for anyone who's thinking about hosting an event?
Get out of your comfort zone. Just get out there, just do it. It's intimidating, but it is actually so much fun. It really is so much fun. And you are going to meet so many great people. Even if they never order from you, meeting new people on different walks of life is really, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why we love what we do, right? We get to help people. So I love it. And I saw where Lainey just said that you did a great job and she's excited to do an event. And so Lainey, you and I are going to have something together because not all my team, but most of my team's in Ohio. So we need to do something here locally, and I will be absolutely using your ideas for sure. And so I need that sheet of paper because that's so cute how you have LaBelle on there. I love it. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and yeah, I'll see you guys on Monday.
Thank you, Sam.
Bye.